Hello everyone, I'm Wazina Asreen and welcome to another episode of BracU Express Student to Faculty. From the busy offices of Sydney to the lively corridors of BRAC University, Yamim Rashad Nawaz sir has had quite the journey. With an undergraduate degree in economics from BRAC University and a master's degree in economics from University of Sydney, Yamim sir brings a blend of academic depth to real-world experiences in his classes. In this interview, we will delve into his transition from the corporate world to the academia, his teaching philosophy, and his reflections on returning to his very own university, this time from the other side of the classroom. First of all, Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Let's talk about your day. How have you been?
Technically, today is just my office hours day, so I haven't been working, but I have been working. So it's going not too bad. How is yours?
It's good. I've actually stayed a bit more after my classes ended because
Okay.
I have to interview you. So
Thank
yes.
you very much for your commitment.
Thank you for making time for us. Okay, so let's start by your introduction. You have completed both your bachelor's and master's in economics, right? So what drew you towards this field in the first place?
It's actually quite a funny answer. So I was doing a year and a half of my education in the UK. My mother went to get another master's degree, so I was doing school over there. And in the UK, we had 130 or 40 options at the O levels and A level stage, right? And it was going good. But unfortunately, her course finished, we had to move back, and I came back to Dhaka. And obviously, you'd understand the amount of courses that were available to me were a lot less, right? So I had the usual science subjects, and then my mother said, try economics. I was like, okay, I'll give it a go, because once again, I don't have a lot of options. And I guess the rest is history. It appealed to me because it felt logical.
Yes.
And I guess I'm still using that logic to keep pursuing my interest in economics.
How do you think BRAC University and University of Sydney's academic environment helped you retain your interest in this field in economics and eventually delve into a career of academics?
To be fair, I never really thought of actually coming back and becoming an academic, or even there, because I did work in Australian university for 2 years. So, like I said, it was never really my main intention. I was always more, I guess, leading towards the corporate sector, because I like to be quite dynamic. I like to be with the change. And academia initially, we were a bit like, it's like where you're really talented and when you're really qualified. That's only then you have the responsibility to pass on the knowledge to someone else. But I'd have to say the environment that I saw at BRAC University Economics and Social Sciences Department when I was here from 2014 to 2017, it really it made coming back and actually working here a viable option that I actually thought about, because the environment, the teachers that we had, they not only became just like teachers in the classroom, but they also became like role models, and some of them that we still keep in touch with till this day. When I went to the University of Sydney, that was a completely different experience. Like, you felt like you were, working in, maybe if you're like a professional athlete, you're just in your own home district, and now you're like in the main leagues. Like, okay, all right.
You have to keep up with the pace.
Absolutely. And you have, first of all, you have to be like, okay, you're not just fighting against Bangladeshis anymore. You're fighting against people in the world, and you're competing against them. So it helped broaden my experience, and also the teachers that I met over there. And one thing the University of Sydney gave me was that we had a lot of young professors, like people who are like the early 30s, and they're already PhD holders, and they're teaching us. So that gave me further, that inspired me further that, okay, I can really actually look into academia. Like, I don't have to go like until I'm 40 or 50 to come back and be a teacher or a professor. I can do it when I'm younger, and I will still look good doing it. So that's the point. So I guess they help, still made me feel that this is still a viable option. And the more I went along with it, I felt like, okay. But once again, I never really thought I would do it. So this is quite a welcome surprise, but I guess it is what it is.
Okay, again, sort of the same question, to be honest. What motivated you to come to Bangladesh and BracU University as a faculty member after working abroad in the corporate sector for a long while?
The short answer, honestly, is family. There's nothing else, right? Regardless of how we'd like to portray it, the biggest reason, like I'm not going to lie, it is just family, right? I thought about my family and I was thinking maybe I would be able to bring them together, this and that. But then all of the things that were happening the last couple of years, especially ever since I left, we had COVID, we had whatever happened last year, all of these things. And it made me feel like, you know what, if we're all gonna perish, at least may as well perish together. Stay together.
With family.
Exactly. If something happens, like especially during COVID, I couldn't come to the country for like 2 years. And thank goodness nothing happened, but if something did happen, then I'd have to make a choice then. Because of all of this, I thought, you know what, come back with the family and see what happens. And then BracU University was once again, I'd never thought I'd actually come in because I still never thought, look at the teachers that are still in my economics department, and like now I'm going to become a colleague to them. Am I actually qualified?
So you do have faculty members that have taught you in your student years.
Yeah, I know, and it's literally, especially with the paper that's right behind you, where you guys are celebrating the Harry Potter Fest.
Yes.
I put up a post when I got the ID card. I was like, my return to Hogwarts is complete. Because I felt like I was a student, now I'm coming, and now my teachers are my colleagues, and like we're on first name basis, and we're like, I still call them sir and miss, by the way, but
that's a habit that will stay.
It will probably will. But exactly, like I still felt that, am I able to stand at least, forget about up to them, stand next to them. Right. So, but I came in and I had a chat with one of my teachers who's still here, and I would always shout him out, Tanvir Soban sir.
Yes, I'm doing a course with him now.
Right, exactly. So you know how he is, right? And thankfully, like I said, I still kept in touch with my teachers. Every time when I came, I tried to meet them, visit them. And then we had a talk, and he said, look, there's an opening here. Do you want to give it a go? I'm like, okay. I applied. I met my fellow teachers now initially as board members, doing my interview, and they said, yeah, come on board. And here, and once again, the rest is history. And I have to say, this has been quite an experience. More on the positive side, but once again, it is what it is. Now I'm here, and now I'm here.
Pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me over.
Okay. Again, let's talk a bit about your emotions. How did it feel to return to BracU University as a faculty member after being a student here?
This is actually quite a funny story. I still haven't explored all of this campus yet.
Oh, there's a lot to explore.
It is. And I've been here since February of this year. Oh. So it's like 9 months or so. And like I said, I still haven't explored it. Because in a way, when you're a student and you're exploring all around, it's okay. But when you're faculty, you just need to be like, you can't always go like, people might think, you might get it the wrong way. So like each semester I'm doing a couple of floors, and then hopefully
checking out one by one.
Exactly. But in a nutshell, that describes my feeling coming back here, because I was, as we were talking before the show, that this chair reminds me of Mohawk, which I call my students the mythical campus, because as each semester passes along, there's less and less people who remember Mohawk. So that's what I'm saying. So that was my BracU University. So when I came back here in this,
it's very foreign.
It felt like day one all over again, right? The only things familiar are my teachers who are now my colleagues. Other than that, everything else. And maybe, of course, comprehensive exams in the mid and finals.
So those are constant.
Exactly. So those sort of things. And so I'm still, you could say I'm still getting used to the fact that now I'm on this side of the table instead of that. but each and every day it's a moment worth cherishing and a moment worth. I'm proud and I'm also happy at the same time that not only I've graduated from here, I'm now being able to contribute here, contribute to my country one way or the other, and contribute to the future of the university and our country.
What lessons did the corporate environment teach you that you now apply to your teaching techniques?
To be honest, I actually do take a couple of things from my corporate experience. So I worked for around 4 to 5 years in the corporate sector over there. And what I tried to bring back here in my teaching, I would like to try and categorize it in 3 things: professionalism, stakeholder management, and you could say commitment to my cause. Professionalism, if I'll try and describe everything very briefly. Like professionalism, like a lot of times we have this notion that when you are in charge of something, especially like a teacher maybe or an administrator, you can relax a bit. Yeah, I'll check the copies, I'll give you this, but I feel like based on my experience before, if I have a task, I'll do it. If you gave an exam, you need to know the results of it. I need to provide it and I need to make sure it's in a constructive way you get it. There's no point me giving you this at the end of the semester or like keeping you in the dark about, oh, I wonder what you got. If there's something to be done, I'll do it. If I have to finish something, I'll do it. Then we go into stakeholder management. A lot of times students, especially when I was in my various institutions as a student, I felt like we can feel we're the mercy of our teachers, we're the mercy of whatever administrative issue that plagues our country, for example, right? So the thing is, it's not only my colleagues, my department, the university, my students are my stakeholders as well. So I need to make sure that their rights, their whatever required, because you guys are not only coming for education because you love me or BracU. You are paying customers of this and you're purchasing a service. So it's my duty to make sure you are getting what you are supposed to be getting. And the last one basically is commitment. Like some people joke, I carry many different colored markers. Like, why do you do that? And I feel like, what? If I can do my craft better, I'll try and do it better. When people send reviews, yeah, sometimes you laugh at them, yeah, look at who's saying what. But sometimes you try and take stuff. Like someone said my quizzes were different to what we had in the finals and mids. I disagreed that you should be able to do many different things, but I took that on board. And so my next semester, my quizzes, I tried to develop it to be more 50-50 what I want and 50-50 what students and especially what their feedback wanted. So I guess you can say it like this. So I try to bring these things into teaching as well. I don't know how good I'm doing, but at least it's a start.
Okay. Let's talk about economics a little bit. So economics could seem to be very heavily theoretical at times. So how do you make your classes more engaging and more practical for the students?
To be fair, this is something that I've been hearing ever since I have been associated with economics. And it's been a long time, so it's like year 9, 10, O-levels, A-levels, bachelor's, master's.
It's actually the same for me. I have been doing economics since class 8 to now, inshallah, for masters as well.
Inshallah. So exactly. So it's been a while, right? And this is something I've been hearing at every step of the way. Because I used to work in this educational institution called Vertical Horizon in Tain.
Oh, I know.
Right. So we were one of the first batches there. And when I finished, I immediately joined the economics department and I worked there for 7 years. Right, before I left. And even there, all the students were like, oh, economics is so hard.
Yeah, it's very theory-based.
Yeah, and like, you have these premonitions. How I try and counter that is by showing how relatable economics is, right? I'll give you might be a silly example, but I hope it'll be effective. Take the concept of game theory, right? I'll explain it in a very simple way. I drive a car. We have rickshaws on the road. Every time I approach an intersection, the cars come, I'm here, the rickshaw's moving. I have 4 things. There's 4 events that could happen. We both go at the same time, crash. Bad news. I stop, he goes, he stop, I goes, or we both stop. We know both stopping is the best outcome, never gonna happen. If I know the rickshaw puller is always gonna go. So I'll stop, let him pass, I go. We've got a Nash equilibrium. That's game theory.
Wow,
right?
I literally read that in this class.
Exactly. See, and that's it. The problem is a lot of times we try and safeguard some concepts. Of course, there are some concepts when you start getting in, everything becomes more difficult. Gravity is simple as apple falling off the tree, but when you actually start getting into gravity, there's a lot of calculation. So it's the same with economics. But the first part is you need to make students feel it's relatable. Once they understand, because economics is always around. As a student, you would know, and that's primarily my job. I teach all my students, I tell them one thing, you just need to realize it's all around you. You don't have to have it all the time in your head, but it's all around you. If you understand even a bit of economics, you'll be able to understand a bit more of the world around you.
That's a very interesting approach.
And that's what I'm trying. So let's see how that goes.
Okay. Okay, you have been in the shoes of BracU University students, of course. How has it evolved? How has this university evolved in the past few years? Is it easier for you to empathize with your students that you have been in their shoes before?
Of course, 100%. And it's not just about being a BracU University student. It's about remembering the time I was a student myself, which was not too long ago. And if I do my PhDs, will come again very soon. So I try and take back on the experience of myself being a student, and I try and mold my teaching and the service I provide, not just teaching the complete education. Like if you come to a semester with me, the entire thing, and I try and do it as one whole comprehensive thing that I would like to, because every time, for example, a student comes up and tells me, look, I have a family member sick, something's happening. My first response is always, it can happen. Regardless of the fact that whether it's true or not, that's the second thing, it can happen. And I always feel like exams never really measure your actual knowledge of a subject. It's just how you are on a particular day, on a particular time. Right. So there have been times good students mess up exams, bad students ace exams. It can happen. Because there's a lot of things associated when you're, learning life. And the more you level up, the more you grow older, more things start coming in. Just like economics, we start with a basic model and then we start building more and more things in. So I try and remember those times, and then when students come up, and for example, before exams, I hold online consultations. There might be last minute things. Some of my colleagues joke that's too much work. It is. But like I said, sometimes I know a lot of students are going to study at the last minute. We've been there, we've done it. And at that moment, you'll be like, oh, what was that again? So at least there's an option that, hey, look, come. Because at the end of the day, it's the journey, right? And if you learn even a little bit of thing, and if you can take that and retain it in your life, I think that's mission successful. Because we've already got the money.
Okay. How different is your work approach in the teaching sector from the corporate? And personally, which one felt more demanding to you?
To be honest, it's very different, obviously, from the corporate to teaching. But honestly, I will say teaching is more demanding. Because, look, even when I was in the corporate sector over there, we handled, initially I was working with companies all over Australia, and then they thought I was good at talking to, and then they upgraded me to handling clients all over Australia, right? So even then, so I had to manage a database of like thousands of clients. Yes, that's fine, but at the end of, and trying to find out financial solutions for them. But at the end of the day, I've had help, and these things take time, like you can't just help someone out immediately, not a quick fix. We looked at long-term sustainable solutions to my company. But here, I only have students for 3 months, right? And I need to make sure that once again, my objective is not you passing the course or what you not passing, whatever. My honest objective is that, especially for example, each course has a different objective. So at the one-on-one level, my objective is making sure you understand economics is present around you, and you start to understand more tricks that are happening in the world. If I'm able to do that while you get a good grade, we're all happy. If you mess up on the grade a little bit, look, at least I hope you remember, because we've had courses we messed up, so that's okay. But at least something sticks, something stays with you,
Something to take away from.
and something that will help you once again to understand the world better. Because I feel more and more we are stepping out, people are making too many complications around us and helping us understand simple things less and less. So that's my motto. So and still, once again, I have to do all of this in 3 months, right? And while also helping them balance out everything, helping balance out my other departmental duties and everything. And the most important thing is, I feel like knowledge is like an energy, right? And I'm the one, I currently have a bit more of it, and I need to make sure I pass it on to my student. And I have to do that efficiently in this 3 months. So, and once again, there's 40 of you times 5, because I take 5 courses. So there's like 200 plus of you, right? So I have to make sure everybody gets at least a decent amount. So just like that, I feel corporate sector, very demanding, different way. This teaching also very demanding, but currently because I'm doing it now, I'm leaning a bit more towards teaching, I'd say.
What advice would you give to students who dream of studying or working abroad in the field of economics, just like you did?
First of all, keep an open mind. You have to make sure you keep an open mind, because there's so many challenges you'll face, so many barriers you'll have to overcome, but you just have to be positive and be like, okay, this way's closed, let's try an alternate way around, let's try something else. So that's the, in Bengali we say the adhatik answer, like that's the philosophical answer. But in reality, I'd say just fix what you want to do. If you're sure about there's something you want to do, especially if you're looking at a master's, because I'm presuming this will be seen by students who are already doing their bachelor's, right? So if you're looking at your master's, I would always say make sure you choose something you like. Don't listen to someone saying, oh, it's not going to work out, oh, there's no demand for this and that. At least get your priorities straight. Do you want to move abroad? Then you look at courses that help you move abroad. Do you want to go for the pursuit of knowledge? Then you look at the courses you want. So as long as you have your priorities straight and you know what you want to do, you'll be able to do it. If you're confused about what your priorities are, I would say take as much time as you need, but make that decision first. And then it'll help guide everything else that comes afterwards.
Okay, thank you for that. Lastly, on a more lighter and important note.
Like that.
What's the one thing from Sydney you wish Dhaka had, and the one thing from Dhaka you think Sydney should learn?
So I'll start with one thing Dhaka should learn from Sydney, because kinda obvious. There's a million things, but to sum it up, just one thing I'd like to say, and that's mentality. That's the only thing. We are very talented people as Bangladeshis, but we have horrible mentality. And it could be a lot of things, too greedy, too selfish, to this and that, too narcissistic. There's a lot of things out here, right? So, like I said, and if I start on this, you'll need to invite me for like a 5-hour session, right? I can go on and on. So I'll sum it up with mentality. If we can improve, I won't say change, just improve what we already know, basic common sense. You're getting into the escalator, wait, don't barge in,
Oh my God, that is such a hustle,
right?
Every day.
And it happens to me as well. Thankfully, somehow people still think I'm one of you guys, and then they try and push. And then I look, they see the badge, they're like, oh, sorry. And it's only because I have this, they're like, oh, sorry. Otherwise
they won't.
Right? So that's just one example of like a million things, right? But that's the only thing we're lacking. We have everything else. If we improve our mentality, we'll be up there competing with the best. And I think you said what Sydney should have from Dhaka. I think, This has to be it. Sydney has the least amount of public holidays in Australia.
Really?
Yes, so Sydney falls under New South Wales, the state. So each state has like there's federal holidays like the ones here as well, and there's some holidays the states can add on to. So New South Wales has one of the fewest in Australia.
Oh.
Dhaka, I was just checking because now that I'm working here, we look at holidays like plan things around. Next year we are supposed to be, regardless of Fridays, Saturdays, we're supposed to have 27 holidays, whereas New South Wales usually has 11 a day.
That's very less.
So yes, if there's one thing Sydney should take, it's the
Public
holidays.
holidays.
It's definitely the holidays.
Okay, thank you so much. That would be all actually. Like it was a pleasure talking to you. I would love to do a course under you,
Well,
inshallah,
I hope
next
that
semester.
No,
I
but
hope
thank you
so.
so much for having me, and I thank you for the entirety of the BracU Express team. Like the moment I walked in here, I saw all of this. I did check out your videos, but like seeing all of this, seeing all of you guys together, it really felt like this was here when I was a student as well. And at that time, it was just
kind of
around.
building.
It was building, but seeing how it is now and seeing how professional you guys are with everything, it warms my heart and keeps the hope alive for the next. So thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, sir.
Inshallah, maybe come again someday.
Someday, inshallah.
All right.
Thank you so much.